I've been testing a lot of IEMs for gaming, and the cheap stuff has gotten really good lately. So at around $200, the Tipsy M3 IEMs cannot just be good for footsteps. Cheaper IEMs can already do that. For this price, it has to be great all around. Gaming, music, movies, shows, everyday desk use. A lot of gaming audio works well for games, but sounds thin, sharp, or even boring everywhere else. So my question with the M3s was, do they actually feel like a premium all-around IEM? Let's find out. So this is the Tipsy M3. It's a hybrid IEM, so inside each side you have one dynamic driver and two balanced armatures. Basically, the dynamic driver is doing more of the heavy lifting for bass and impact, and then the balanced armatures are helping with clarity and detail. Having both of those components is really nice because for gaming you want detail in your footsteps, reloads, doors, glass, metal, all those little audio cues to be easy to pick out. But for music and movies, you still want the sound to have some weight to it. The M3 is trying to sit somewhere in between those two things, and I think it does a really good job of doing that. The design is one of the first things that stood out to me. Tipsy doesn't really have a typical gaming brand look. It looks more like a piece of high-end audio gear. The resin shells are really clean, the faceplates catch light in a cool way, and depending on the angle, they almost have that custom IEM look. Tipsy comes from the music side of things, more studio, stage, performance, presentation, that kind of vibe. So the M3 doesn't feel like they just made a gaming product and then try to make it sound better after. It feels like they made an IEM with a certain sound and design first, and then we're like, alright, this actually makes sense for gaming too. I think that's why I really like these, because if I'm spending over $200 on IEMs, I don't want them to feel like some random headset accessory. You can tell there was a lot of thought and time put into the design of these, and they feel like something I actually want to keep on my desk. With IEMs, I don't think people talk about this enough, but fit is everything. If you don't get a good seal, you're not hearing the IEM properly. The bass can disappear, the treble can feel weird, the imaging can feel off, and you might just think they're bad IEMs when it's really just the fit. The M3 shell is pretty compact, so for me, this is not one of those huge IEMs I feel like it's taking over your whole ear. It's pretty easy to wear for longer sessions. I didn't have any pain or fatigue even after using these for several hours at a time. One thing I would recommend though is definitely spend a few minutes trying the different ear tips. Don't just grab the first pair, throw them in, and make a decision there. Try the silicone ones, try the foam ones, try different sizes. Especially for gaming, because the seal affects more than just bass. It can change how centered things feel, how sharp footsteps are, how easy it is to judge distance, and even affect directionality. So in order to give them a fair shot, just make sure you're getting a good seal on them. For gaming, I care way more about separation than just volume. Making footsteps loud isn't that hard, and a lot of cheap headsets and cheap IEMs can make footsteps loud. The more difficult part is keeping the whole audio scene organized. Like, can I tell what's close and what's far? Can I tell if something is above me or behind me? Can I separate a footstep from my own movement, from environmental noises, from gunshots, teammate comms? And the M3 excels at all of that. The sound feels spacious, but not in a fake surround soundy way where everything gets weird and phasey. It feels like sounds have more room around them, if that makes sense. In Tarkov, makes a big difference for me because Tarkov audio is already chaotic and you're almost never listening to one clean sound by itself. You might be hearing someone on metal stairs, someone walking over wood, someone ADSing in another room, your own gear moving, rain outside, shots across the map, all at the same time. Bad audio gear kind of blends that all together and just makes it an indistinguishable blob of audio. With the M3, the separation makes it easier to mentally sort through what you're hearing. And the real test for me isn't just, can I hear footsteps? It's more like, can I understand the audio fast enough to make the right decision? For music, the M3 is tuned a little more on the fun side than the flat side. The bass has some body to it, so drums, bass lines, synths, and anything low and heavy actually have some punch. But it doesn't feel like the bass is just taking over everything. Vocals still come through pretty clearly. Instruments have some space and the top end gives it enough air that it doesn't feel dark or closed in. So these aren't what I'd call a reference IEM. If you're mixing audio or trying to hear every tiny flaw in a track, this probably isn't going to be your first pick. but for normal listening, gaming, sitting at your desk, editing, watching videos, listening to music, these are really good. They do everything really well. So who are the Tipsy M3s for? Coming from a gamer and content creator perspective, these check off every box for an IEM. If you're looking for a premium IEM that spares no expense and can do it all, I would definitely recommend checking out the Tipsy M3s. I gotta say, I'm very impressed by these. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope it was helpful. If this video helped you make a decision on a purchase, please consider using the affiliate link down below. It really helps support the channel and helps me to continue bringing you reviews like this in the future. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.